All right, we're gonna do Pails rails for ankle plantar flexion. And so, the idea is we're just basically gonna open up the space, when we're pressing down into the floor. So for this, you're gonna sit, you're gonna start off being stacked on your knees. You're gonna put your feet flat against the floor, and then, you're gonna sink down onto your ankle and your foot. Now, you're probably gonna start to feel, tension across the front of your ankle, where the lines of stress are kind of a little grumpy. If you needed to, or if you felt like, hey, you needed actually more, then you can start to lean back into this to stretch it out even more, even further, even increasing the stretch across the anterior line, across your shins, and up to and past your knees. So, I would even tell you, maybe just explore a little bit of, the range. So we don't just move front to back or side to side, we move in 3D space. So just, maybe pivot your hips and your ankles just a little bit and kind of find that sweet spot for yourself. So we're gonna hang out here, let everything elongate. We're gonna breathe into this. So the idea is we're doing a 4-8 count. 4 in through our nose, 8 out through our mouth. Really driving, parasympathetic response. We're changing the nervous system and the way that it thinks about this. This isn't aggressive, this is a rest and digest. We're allowing the body to relax. We're allowing tissues to elongate. We're allowing pain to quiet down. So the idea is after the prescribed amount of time, the first is pushing into the ground. So I'm thinking about my ankles, my big toes, my shins. They're just pushing into the ground, trying to straighten out my knees. I'm push, 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 push. I'm ramping up the contraction, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, 80% max contraction. I'm breathing while I'm doing this. Nothing should hurt. You ramp it up to what you think you can tolerate. I'm gonna do that for the prescribed amount of time, and then I'm gonna start to relax. I'm ramping back down to 0. And now this time, the opposite. I'm thinking about my big toes and the bottom of my foot pulling up into my glutes. I'm contracting in the opposite direction. While I'm doing that, I'm holding that contraction, building that contraction, and I'm starting to shift forward while I'm contracting. I'm doing max contraction, ramping it up, 60%, 70%, 80%, max effort, breathe, and then you're gonna relax back down to 0. So you're gonna do that for the prescribed sets reps.